What's up, Coach Nate here from The Run Experience. Today we are going after side planks. I'm going to give you a workout. I'm also going to break down the movement, show you different variations of this, why this movement is so important for shoulder stability, for your abdominals, that core, that midline, those obliques, your glute medius, all those little tidbits that really added together make for a stronger runner. It's all coming in a second. Now, if you're watching this and you're a runner, you're always interested in exercises that are simultaneously going to improve your core strength, your posture and position so that you can express that in better running mechanics. Of course, looking good on the beach doesn't hurt either. Well, side plank is such a great tool for that. And I'm going to break it down in this movement, in this video, some of the different pieces that I think that are really important to pay attention to, as well as some of the things that get a little bit short shrift, especially when we start seeing people doing their planks on their elbow with a shoulder position that's a little rounded in, that kind of looks like this with my elbow out to the side, right? So what we're really gonna talk about instead is better posture and position, how to screw this hand into the ground so that we're in this really strong shape. And then we're gonna give you some variations on how to make this even more difficult, and then even how to modify it down without losing the benefits of the shoulder. So I'm always a fan whenever I'm doing planks, doing obviously push-ups or anything, doing them from the hands as opposed to from the elbows. And one of the reasons why is that when I'm on my hand, I have much better ability to control and screw my shoulder into the ground. And when I can do that, what I get is this little external rotation at the shoulder level, which noticeably improves my posture and things like my arm swing and other things like that. When my shoulders go here, this is internally rotated, it doesn't look that good. And if I were just here and then throw my elbow on the ground, it just looks even worse. We're not really getting much benefits. The other thing that we like whenever we're on our hands, this is gonna be challenging for some of you guys, it's just a nice way to strengthen and stretch out those wrists. That's right, no carpal tunnel for you, you're welcome. So the way we're gonna start with this, guys, is this. I'm first just gonna start with a regular plank, and I've got my nice, soft, nature's yoga mat, you could say. I'm gonna screw my hands into the ground, and I'm just gonna get comfortable in this position. Now, once I have that and I've screwed my hands to the ground, I've brought this elbow pit forward a little bit. It's kind of a funky cue, but it still works. I'm gonna really actually keep my feet wide. I'm gonna shift with both feet staggered. We'll start here, and I'm just gonna bring this arm up. Now, my real priority in this initial piece is my shoulder. I don't really care what's happening here yet. I wanna make sure I feel this screwed into the ground and I'm not losing my shoulder in any way. Super, super important. That's gonna be step one. Now, if this is a little bit too hard, I can even drop my knee to the ground so I've got a little stability and balance there. And then if that's not too bad, I can go ahead and walk out and hold this position. This is gonna be step one for our plank. Can we hold this for 15 seconds, 30 seconds, working our way all the way up to a full minute? All right, so once we've mastered this basic plank setup, we're screwing our hand to the ground, we're strong, we're stable, we're gonna make this thing a little bit more difficult. So we're gonna start here. Once again, I've got my nice, beautiful yoga mat here, and I'm gonna think about setting myself up here. I'm gonna start with my feet stacked, and I like this because this allows me to get my hips and my shoulders in a nice fair position. Once I have that, I can start to bring my feet over on top of each other. Once I have this, now I start to feel a little bit more wobbly. So this shoulder and hand position is gonna be that much more important. And then you're also gonna notice that my hips are gonna be more important too. I'm gonna have to really squeeze my butt and drive my hips forward. What tends to happen is that the hip tends to close like this. If I kind of show you from this side, the hip tends to close and I get a little weak and wobbly here. So squeezing your butt and driving your hip forward is a really nice way to make sure that I'm staying nice and aligned. I'm gonna work on holding this 15 seconds, 30 seconds, upwards of a minute, trying to go from there. If I have that and that's not too bad, I could start to elevate this leg for limited periods of time. The way that I like to do it is to work on some lateral leg raises, trying to go for, say, a set of 10 to 15, trying to leg this leg up a couple, 1 to 2 feet, keeping those hips forward. Again, as soon as this leg comes off, the body tends to want to do this, so make sure that you're strong and stable. Whew, I'm gonna switch sides as I demonstrate this other one here. I'm gonna do this little lateral leg raise here. I'm gonna try to do a couple sets of that. What I'd like to say is, accumulate 3 rounds of 1 minute per side. The other thing you could do is 3 rounds of say 10 to 15 lateral leg lifts per side. Such a great way to build postural strength and awareness, to really work on your shoulders and your wrists, something you don't always think about in that side plank. And then as well, to get into obviously your obliques, your glutes, and really that lateral hip stability, which is so key for runners.